And now, Forecast First from Color 10 News. Certified by Weather Rate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Cool and quiet weather out there. Winds have died down and temperatures aren't terribly cold, falling to the 50s right now. Looks like we start tomorrow off with readings around 53. And I also think we're going to have some sun in the morning. Looks like mostly sunny to partly sunny conditions throughout the morning hours. But definitely clouds increasing by the end of the morning, and it looks like we'll find cloudy skies tomorrow afternoon. Also looks like temperatures top out near 70 and then start to pull back as we work through the remainder of the afternoon as a cold front slips south of Springfield, and that's going to usher in a period of colder and wetter conditions for the weekend. I'll have more on that in your forecast coming up. Color 10 News at 10 starts now.
Now, from Ozarks First, you're watching Color 10 News at 10.
If you've been to the grocery store in the past couple of weeks, you might have had some trouble getting toilet paper again. Good evening, I'm Heather Lewis.
Good to have you along here this Thursday evening. I'm David Oliver. As we get closer and closer to the holidays now, grocery stores are already trying to keep items stocked for Thanksgiving dinner on the shelves. But now, some are worried about keeping those toilet paper shelves stocked as well.
Our Madison Heaver has more on why we could be seeing this happen once again.
Yeah, Heather, I talked to a shopper who credits recent shutdowns in other states in causing panic similar to just 8 months ago here in the Ozarks. This is a look at the toilet paper aisle at a Springfield Walmart this afternoon. And this is a look at the toilet paper and paper towel aisle at the Springfield Target just a few days ago.
They are buying it a lot more, and the staples of the things that they're worried about being out of.
Chris Miller is a wellness spokesperson for Mama Jeans in Springfield. He says he's noticed more people buying toilet paper again, but at Mama Jeans, they're prepared.
It's not been as crazy for us because we have it. All the things coming up for the holidays, we are set and ready and prepped because of prior scenarios.
Shopper Angela Romine says she's heard about another shortage in toilet paper, reminding her of not that long ago, just before Greene County instituted a stay-at-home order.
It was hard to get your hands on toilet paper. Everything was empty. People were being limited on how much they could buy. At that time, I went to several places. I went to Price Cutter, Walmart, Sam's Club.
We had some people that would come in and wipe out the whole shelf at once, and maybe hoarding situations or things like that. It's hard to say.
Romine says other states' handling of the spike in COVID-19 cases could be the reason people may be panic buying or stocking up here in the Ozarks.
I think that they're seeing other states start trying to shut down again. Even though grocery stores were considered essential, I think it just spreads the panic. That's what they start doing, is they start trying to prepare for the worst.
I think that's more concern about when stock issues happen. All the politics happening and things, they're not sure. So then they would rather prep instead.
Isn't limiting people on toilet paper purchases, but Miller did explain that if stock issues happen again, there may be a need to ensure as many people get what they need.
Madison Heaver tonight. Thanks. Today, Governor Mike Parson extended Missouri's state of emergency order. It'll now go through the end of March 2021. Governor Parson also released a new public health warning that outlines some of the expectations for communities across Missouri. Our Jesse Inman is up next tonight with more on what this means. Jesse, tell us, how is this different in terms of how Governor Parson and his team are classifying community risk right now?
Yeah, Governor Parson's administration laid out some guidances for different areas of everyday life, including personal behavior, how it is in businesses, travel, and for local governments as well. Much of that are things like proper distancing, hand washing, and recommending masking, though not requiring it. We know that's something Parson has said he will not mandate, leaving that up to cities or counties. These are some of the same things we've heard before, but something new is how the governor's office is classifying risk in different counties. Now, there are 3 categories of risk which have to do with positivity rates. Category 3, that's serious risk, and it's between 5 and 9% positivity rate. Category 2 means critical. That means positivity rates are between 10 and 14%, and Category 1 is extreme risk. Positivity rates greater than 15%. Now, many of the counties in our area fall under the extreme risk of greater than 15%. Here's a few of them. Greene County at 22%, Christian at 27%, Taney 31%. Governor Parson highlighted today that just how many cases we're seeing compared to earlier in the year.
The first 8 months of COVID-19, all the cases combined, There was more cases in October than in those first 8 months. The first half of November, the first 15 days of November, is more than the numbers of a full month of October. It will put a stress on the systems if we don't change the behavior of how we conduct ourselves.
And again, Governor Parson did echo some of those same things that we heard locally yesterday. Parson said that his holiday season will look different than it has in years past. And while he does recommend and acknowledge that masks are a very important part of curbing the virus, he still says he will not mandate them, as he believes that should not be a decision made by government. Heather?
All right, Jesse, thank you. Meanwhile, in Arkansas, Governor Asa Hutchinson made an executive order for businesses that serve alcohol to close early. The new directive orders bars, restaurants, and private clubs with on-premise permits to close by 11 p.m. That starts tomorrow and goes through January 3rd. Governor Hutchinson made the order on the recommendation of the Winter COVID Task Force. Violations of this new state directive could lead to a fine of between $100 and $500 or up to a month in jail.
Of course, we know that more and more kids are home spending a lot of time on their phones and their computers during the pandemic. Well, the FBI in Little Rock says tonight that predators know that and they're taking advantage of it. The FBI is seeing an uptick now in child exploitation cases since the pandemic began. It's happening on social media, gaming sites, and any place that your child can chat. Agents say children can end up exchanging personal information or compromising photographs of themselves. The predator will then use those pictures to extort them to potentially producing more sexually explicit photographs or requests that they pay.
Parents, you cannot chaperone your kids enough. If you think you know all the email accounts your child is using, you think you know all the applications that they're using, I would say most of the time you're wrong.
I don't think that children should have accounts that parents do not know the passwords to, that parents aren't actively checking.
The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Arkansas typically prosecutes 50 to 60 child exploitation cases in any given year.
New information tonight here at 10. One person is dead following a crash involving a motorcycle and truck earlier this evening. Police say the motorcyclist died on scene. The accident happened on Kansas Expressway past Bennett Street. The identity of the person has not been released at this time.
The Tracker Boats plant up in Bolivar is expanding, and with that comes 300 new manufacturing jobs. Bass Pro and White River Marine Group say that there's actually been an increase of pontoon boat sales during the pandemic as more people just want to get outside. The new facilities will be just a couple of miles away from the original location and will double the brand's manufacturing output. The goal is for construction to be complete sometime by the summer.
2020 real estate tax statements are now available. Just go to www.countycollector.com to see your statement online. Paper statements will be mailed this month. Real estate tax payments are due by December 31st and can be paid online, in person, or by mail.
Well, all day yesterday, we brought you stories about how you can help put the Ozarks first. We wanted to give you an update on those efforts you saw here on Color 10.
As of our last report, more than $25,000 has been raised in donations and thousands of pounds of food donated. If you missed any of our coverage or still want to participate, you can find more on our website at ozarksfirst.com.
Yeah, just click on the Putting the Ozarks First button there on the homepage. And again, thanks to everybody who took part and helped out with those charities that we were trying to help out yesterday.
Well, you have one more day to get out and enjoy the sunshine. Jamie, when are those clouds going to roll in?
They're going to be rolling in during the day on Friday. This is also our last opportunity at some unusually warm weather here in the month of November before we go into a cold and wet weekend. I'll have more on that after this break.
You're watching Color 10 News, Ozarks First, with David Oliver, Heather Lewis, weather with meteorologist Jamie Warner, and sports with Dan Lucy. This is Color 10 News at 10. And now weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Well, I hope you got outside and enjoy what has been another beautiful day across the area. Certainly a very warm day with highs in the 70s just about area-wide. Right now, looking at a view across downtown Springfield. Here's a square. There's the crescent moon hanging low in the sky there. Temperatures, they're in the 50s, but they're not going to drop a whole lot more from where they are right now. It looks like winds will continue to sort of stir up the air and prevent temperatures from getting too cold overnight tonight. Certainly they weren't cold during the day today. Temperatures topping out at 76 in Lake Ozark, 75 in Clinton, 74 in Joplin, here in Springfield, 73. Cooler readings here over south central Missouri, down into Fulton County, Arkansas, but even here temperatures well above the average high of 55. For this time of the year, and you can see it's been a nice little run of warmer weather here over the last few days. It's a two-day run of highs in the 70s, and we may be able to squeak out one more day tomorrow. Oftentimes the warmth this time of the year comes with wind, and we had some of that. We had wind gusts generally between 35 and 45 miles per hour. Joplin registered a wind gust of 44. This was in the OBS. There could have been some stronger gusts, but as far as the reported observations, that's what we had. The highest that I could find, 41 here in Springfield. Cold front to our northwest right now will be making steady progress southeast, and we'll put an end to this unusually warm spell of weather that we're enjoying right now. It looks like we start the day off on Friday with, I think, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies here across southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. There may be some patchy cloudiness in here, especially over south central Missouri and north central Arkansas. Where I think we are going to likely start the day off cloudy is to the north, close to Highway 54 and north of Highway 54. That's not going to change tomorrow morning. What will change is that areas to the south that will start with sunshine, we'll see much less of it as we get to noon on Friday, and then afternoon, it looks like at least along the north of Highway 60, we're looking at cloudy skies. South of Highway 60, there will still be some breaks in the clouds through the afternoon hours, and that cold front should be a little south of the interstate by the end of the day on Friday, and then it will continue to slowly sag south from there down to about the state line by 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And it looks like Friday night we'll start seeing drizzle breaking out and light showers, and those showers will pick up in intensity as we approach sunrise on Saturday. That cold front will generally kind of hold across northern Arkansas throughout the day on Saturday. That means that most of us will be dealing with colder temperatures and a wet pattern for Saturday. And it looks like that cold and wet pattern will continue into Saturday. Now, I'll have more on that in a second. Here's a look at the temperatures. Tonight, not cooling off much. It looks like about 53 for a low here in Springfield, with highs ranging from the mid to upper 60s north, where we have a cloudy day and the front arrives earlier in the day, to lower to middle 70s to the south across northern Arkansas. Here in Springfield, I think we may be able to squeak out a high of 70 before the clouds thicken up as we get into the afternoon. Overnight tomorrow night, temperatures will be dropping, and it looks like we'll find that rain really getting going across much of the area, at least north of the state line. And then during the day on Saturday, we'll find that chance for showers slipping south of the state line as well. It looks like a wet day. It also looks like a cold day where temperatures, once they drop into the 40s, they're going to hang out in the 40s through the remainder of the day. And while we may see temperatures in the 60s in the morning on Saturday, I think temperatures even across northern Arkansas will be dropping later on in the day. Getting back to that pattern for the remainder of the weekend, looks like that cold front, again, north of it, will continue to find cold and wet conditions with periods of rain throughout the night Saturday night. We'll still have showers around, I think, into Sunday morning, but those showers will be on the way out during the morning hours on Sunday. And I think we'll see at least some slow clearing here across western Missouri, northwest Arkansas by mid to late afternoon. And I think we may end the day here in Springfield with some peaks of sunshine. As far as rainfall totals, still looks like areas near the interstate is where we'll have the highest amounts of 1 to 2 inches. Rainfall amounts drop off the further north or south you get, but this is still going to be a pretty soaking rainfall across all of the area. And as far as the leaves are concerned, most of them have come down off the trees. It's time to rake them up. Friday is your day to do it. It looks like conditions best just to be spent indoors Saturday and Sunday. Looking ahead to the holiday week ahead, we start off with a cold start to your Monday. Highs in the low 50s, increase in clouds. Next storm sweeps across the area Tuesday into Tuesday night with showers and some breezy winds. Temperatures in the 50s for highs. Wednesday, it looks like we'll start off with clouds, giving way to sunshine. And it looks like Thanksgiving Day is going to be a nice one. Mostly sunny skies and highs up near 60.
You know, we have a bit of a roller coaster here, but still the overnight lows don't
Nothing
really
fri-
get down to freezing too much.
Cold at night, but nothing frigid.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that.
We're being spoiled right now. Well, on the way, he traveled